Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing very well. If you haven't yet all subscribed, please make sure that you click that subscribe button. Got lots more videos on the way very soon. But in today's video, I've got a special car on the turntable, I suppose. This is my only 1/12 scale model car that I've got in my collection. I've had to make some adjustments to my turntable to fit on the model. But this is the Minichamps McLaren F1 Roadcar, finished in their kind of iconic or flagship papaya orange. Now, as I say, I originally wanted to get the auto art version, the auto art McLaren F1, which I later followed up with and got. But when I went down to the kind of model car shop in London, there was the auto art 1/18 scale model car, and then there was this. And then at the time, I decided to go for this. Definitely don't regret it. I think, you know, if you're going to go for a 1/12 scale model car, you want it to be kind of your favorite car, a really iconic car, a big car, and you know, you can't really get more iconic than the McLaren F1. So definitely don't regret choosing this over the 1/18 auto art model. It's a great model car. I'm not really looking to add too many 1/12 scales to the collection. I think I'm just going to stick it with the F1 and focus on 1/18 scale model cars moving forward. But I think it's definitely a very good model car. And at the time, I think this was around £250, which wasn't too bad at the time. It was still quite a bit of money, but I think now these are kind of hovering around, I suppose, the £350 mark. And I recently found out that you could get these examples signed by Gordon Murray, the designer and creator of the McLaren F1, which I didn't know at the time, which is quite a cool little touch. And those are worth a little bit more money too. So if you do come across them, I would definitely recommend them for your channel. But let's kickstart off the review. Now, as you guys know, I've done full in-depth reviews for all of my 1/18 scale model cars, so please go and check them out. And I've also just started doing full in-depth reviews on my 1/43 scale too. So I'll leave the kind of links to all the details in the description below. But I have touched on this model in a number of other videos about 1/12 scale model cars, the pros and cons. But I really want to do a full in-depth review on it, show you guys all of the little details, because it is a really nice model car. And I have been a bit critical of Minichamps recently with their 1/18 scale model cars. But I think with this one, their 1/12 scales, they really do a good job and a much better job compared to what they do with their 1/18 scales. So let's kick off the review at the front end of the model. Now let's start off here, because I think all Minichamps do a really good job with some of their details. Firstly, it's finished in their, as I say, their kind of flagship papaya orange color. Now this is probably the best color combination I think you can get for McLaren F1. They did make them in, I believe, silver, black. I think they made one in yellow. So there's a number of different colors out there, but I think this one's probably the best one to go for, just because McLaren orange is just iconic. So Minichamps have done a really good job here in terms of all of their front end details. So this is a fully opening DIECAST model car, and I'll show you guys all of the interior details shortly. But yeah, all of the shut lines are very, very nice and neat. You've got really good details on the front headlights. Does look quite realistic. Nice and neat shut lines around the front bonnet. You've got the McLaren badge right in the center there, which is a bit dull. I suppose they could have probably made a little bit more detail out of that, but you know, it is a nice badge. It does stand out quite well. And then you've got the indicator stalks on the just below the headlights. Again, looks realistic, decent detail there as well. And then all of the air vents at the bottom here too. You've got the mesh in the air vents too. So in terms of front end detail, they've done a great job. Does look quite realistic. Then you've got a very nice kind of detailed windscreen wiper as well, just to make the whole front end of the car does look very good. And then you've got the two mirrors here as well, because obviously the McLaren F1, you've got the central driving position, so you've got two mirrors there, and I'll show you guys the whole interior layout shortly as well. But in terms of front end detail, it is very good, very realistic, and I'll show you guys the internal detail there too. Coming round the side end of the model, you can just about see, I mean, this is as I say, it's a 1/12 scale, and it is massive compared to 1/18 scale model cars. You know, you've really got to decide how you're going to display these. Do you have enough room to display these? I certainly don't have enough room to display 1/12 scale model cars. They definitely would not fit in my cabinet. They are absolutely massive compared to 1/18 scale. So let's come over to some of the wheel detail here, because they've done a really good job with how they've done their wheels and tyres here. So you've got the kind of iconic Goodyear tyres, and then they've definitely put the Goodyear on the tyres as well. So you've got good tyre writing. You've got the size of the tyres as well, which is again really nice touch. And then you've got the F1 here as well. So you know, these details companies do neglect now. I think tyre writing, going as far as the size of the tyres as well. Again, it's just nice little touches that I really like on the model car, because this is quite a key area of the car and kind of focus point. So it's nice to have those little touches. Again, the multi-spoke wheels are done very nicely. You've got the F1 badge as the center cap. You've got the huge discs, which are done as well, quite realistic. And then you've got the Brembo brake calipers too, which you know, you can see the Brembo logo on the calipers. Calipers are pretty massive, covers the half of the discs. Again, but the whole kind of tyre, rims, center caps, calipers, discs are all done very nicely, very realistic, and all of these little details make the whole section look very realistic. And I do really like that. Really nice touches there by Minichamps, and stuff that you don't see on their 1/18 scale models. Weirdly, which I do not understand. If they can do it on their 1/12 scale, they should be able to do it on their 1/18 scales too. But anyway, moving across the side of the model, you can just about fit it on the screen there. If I move my camera back a little bit more, so you've got all of the kind of iconic lines on the side of the F1, which Minichamps have done very nicely. Now, if I bring in here quickly, these are just plastic, so there's no mesh inside these air vents here. Again, disappointing, but you don't really notice it, I suppose. So, but again, just to let you guys know, it is nothing in there. You've got the indicators on the side. The side mirrors are done very nicely, and then you've got the kind of iconic F1 windows where only this bit opens, and that all of that is fixed. Again, nice touch. You've got the door opener there, and then you've got the fuel filler cap on this side too. Coming round to the rear wheels now. Now again, you've got pretty much identical detail as to the front wheels. So you've got the kind of the Goodyear tyres, you've got the Brembo brakes, and I think the rear ones are running slightly wider tyres compared to the front, and I think they're slightly bigger too as well. So again, really good detail on the whole wheel and tyre design on the model. So let's flip it round to the back of the model now. This is where quite a number of good details are. I really do love the design of the McLaren F1. It definitely looks very contemporary, hasn't really aged too much, even though this is a 25-year plus model car now. So obviously you've got the quad pipe exhaust, again finished in silver, looks quite nice. And then you've got a massive diffuser at the rear too. You know, this car was the world record holder for the fastest production car for a number of years, I believe over 20, until the Veyron took its title. This maxed out at 243 miles an hour, and I still think it holds the world record for the fastest production car with a naturally aspirated engine. So, you know, it's definitely still got some pedigree. It still holds world records today, and this design is just phenomenal, really, what Gordon Murray managed to achieve with it. So obviously you've got all of the air vents here, which are all finished in the mesh. Again, looks very nice, and around the exhaust pipes as well, all finished in the mesh. And then if I just bring my camera up here, just to show you guys some of the top engine bay detail here, so you can just about see some of the engine details through the different compartments. I will lift up this whole engine bay and show you guys more detail. but you've got that BMW M-Power V12 engine lurking below that engine cover, which I'll show you guys shortly. And as you can see on the engine hood here, all of the openings here have got the black meshing too, so it does look quite good. If you're displaying the model, you can see all of that detail. And then just about there, as I say, I'll lift up the engine detail so you guys can see that clearly. But really good detail there by Minichamps in terms of a good engine bay. Now coming round to the other side of the model, again exactly the same. Really good tyre detail, wheel detail, and the whole stance of the model. I'm not sure if you've managed to see on the camera, it does look really nice. So the way the model actually is sitting is very nice as well. So it does look very realistic. I mean, if you display this in your cabinet, it's definitely going to be a focus point, a center of attention in the cabinet. So it does look very, very nice as an overall presence of the model. So that is the exterior. As I say, it does look very good, but let's open up some of the compartments now and I'll show you guys some more details. So we've got some of the compartments opened up now. So we've got the front end compartment opened up, we've got the engine bay, the exhaust bay, and on the other side we've got the luggage compartment all opened up, and I'll show you guys that detail shortly. I think a common, not an issue, but the doors open up but they don't stay up. So when I come around to that section, I'll open up the doors and I'll show you guys the interior detail too. I think it's a common issue on these models, I think. But I think just to let you guys know, I think opening up all of the compartments on the model, it doesn't feel, I mean, the quality doesn't feel as good as the Auto Art version, or the Auto Art 118 McLaren F1. You know, all of those panels can open up, they can hold their own weight, they can support their own weight. And just open up the panels, you know, the quality of materials feels a lot better or a lot high end compared to this. It's still a great model and one that I would still definitely recommend, because that Auto Art McLaren F1 is probably worth double what this car's worth. So it's definitely an amazing alternative, but that car just feels a bit more better made overall, really. Just open up those compartments. But nevertheless, let's start off with the front end of the model. So this is the kind of the front boot of the model. Now you've just got several different reservoirs in there. I think you've got the kind of windscreen wash reservoir and some other bits. You've got the iconic Kenwood radio player in there too. I think Gordon Murray designed that to save grams, really. He was so fanatic about the weight of the car. But yeah, really iconic. And you've got other McLaren badges and F1 badges in there too. Not that much detailed in there, not that much space really, very minimalistic car. But again, nice touch that Minichamps left in there, and they left all of that detail there as well. So really, really nice little touch. Let's bring that back down again. Let's open up some of the doors here. Actually, let's go to the engine bay. I think the doors might clash with the engine bay. So you've got the massive engine bay at the rear. So you've got 3 opening sections here, and as you guys can see, the gold plated top ends of the engine covers too. So as you guys know, Gordon Murray lined the McLaren F1 engine bay in gold, because gold is the best heat reflector, and that's a really nice touch, and that's on the Auto Art model too. So all of that gold touches. But this is the massive BMW powered V12 engine that I think produces probably around 630 brake horsepower. You can't see too much, it is pretty far down, but you can see the BMW M Power badge. You've got the McLaren badges, and you've got all of the other engine details. You've got all the cabling down there too. So Minichamps have done a really good job. And at the top is the carbon fiber detail. Now, carbon fiber was very early on in the McLaren F1, but it does feature in it. And you've got really nice detail that goes all the way down. And then you've got the exhaust section here too, which Minichamps have left open. And you've got all of the other reservoirs around there too. Again, really nice detail there. And that obviously lends down to that exhaust, to those quad exhausts at the rear of the model. And I think this is the air brake, if I'm not mistaken, right at the back. So really nice detail throughout the whole engine bay and the exhaust bay. Everything kind of fits very nicely. So if we start to close all of these compartments down, you can display it like this if you wanted to in your cabinet. But everything does fit very nicely, very neatly, not very big panel gaps between all of the different opening panels. And then the engine cover comes down and then clicks back into to position 2. Now on the McLaren F1, on the side of the model, you've got the luggage compartment, which is really cool. Now again, the Auto Art version does have this too, but it comes with its own luggage set, which again is a very nice touch. But Minichamps done a very good detail here too. Doesn't come with the luggage, but they have lined it very nicely with the carpet, which does look very nice. Then you've got other reservoirs here and other badges and F1 McLaren badges at the top too. So overall, I think they have done a very good job with some of the opening compartments of the model. So we can close this back down, back up again, and it clicks back into position, which is quite nice. So let's start to open up the doors. We'll start on the other side first. Now the doors obviously are the kind of iconic gull wing doors. So if we lift these up now, like that, it's a bit frustrating that they don't stay open, so I have to hold one door up, and I'll bring my camera in so you guys can see the detail here that Minichamps have done, because you've got that iconic driving position, which is really nice, and you've got obviously those 3 pedals in there too. You've got the manual gear stick on the right hand side, as you guys can see, and then you've got other driver controls there too, just by the gear stick. So I'd say the gear stick's on the right, handbrakes on the left. I believe the engine start button on the left too. You've got obviously the 3 pedals down there too, which again really nicely detailed by Minichamps. Good steering wheel detail and good driver zone detail too. And then you've got the passenger seats, which are flanked to the side of the driver as well. So you can see the seatbelt detail in there too, which is really nice. The seats are very nicely detailed, and all of the other little buttons and touches that Minichamps have done, really good job. So if we close this down and we look at the other side to show you guys that detail too, again it does close down nicely, but the doors are quite heavy, so that's probably why they don't stay open. But nevertheless, we'll open up the other side. Just find my opening. There it is. So we come around the other side. This is where the manual gear stick is. You can see kind of that 4-point harness that they've got in there too. So you can see there's a lot of detail in there. You know, the seat belts, the seats, everything is done very nicely there by Minichamps. So you guys can see all that detail. There you go. So I think kind of overall, this is a very good model car. Definitely still would recommend it, because as I say, the Auto Art version is double or probably even triple the price of this model car. And these aren't that rare, so you can probably find these on eBay for fairly decent prices now, not like the Auto Art version. So I would definitely recommend it. Definitely better detail to Minichamps 1/18 scale model cars. They've done some really nice little touches that really sets this model up, and I would recommend it for your collection. So as I say, this is the only 1/12 scale that I will collect moving forward, and I would recommend it for you guys too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this full in-depth review of my 1/12 scale Minichamps McLaren F1 Roadcar. If I had to give this a review out of 10, probably definitely around the kind of 7.5, 8. There are some bits which I would improve in terms of the quality of when you start to open up the compartments, but nevertheless it is a very good model car. So please leave any comments in the comment section. Please tell me what you think. Any suggestions that you might have, let me know, and I'll see you guys very soon for lots more videos to come. Cheers, bye.